Alright, so you picked the mid lane video, so the top 3 for the mid lane. Let's get started. The top one, the number one for the mid lane was kind of difficult because I think we all saw MSI here, and if you didn't, TSM got destroyed pretty handedly, and the lighting on my face is kind of weird. Anyway, so TSM got destroyed pretty handedly, so it's kind of hard to say what my number one was, especially since we all saw what Forbidden did, and in case you didn't, he killed Faker like twice by himself, so it's just like, oh, amazing. But I had to kind of just go based off the past, based off the stats that I saw, and I honestly believe that Bjergsen is the best mid laner to pick up right now. There's a couple of reasons for that. First off, I'm looking at the roster hasn't changed at all. And not only that, if I look at my stats real quick, Bjergsen was second in total points with 418, which is not bad at all. Breaking 400 was very difficult. Not too many players were able to do that. So Bjergsen being able to do that was very important. Not only that, but if you think about it, Forbidden has a lot of other situations which I'm going to explain later, because guess who's number 2? But TSM, people are forgetting that people are starting to forget. I don't know. MSI kind of jogged everybody's mind a bit, but they were number one in NA, and guess who Bjergsen's going to be going against? Not those people that we saw in MSI. They're going to be going against like Phoenix and Incarnation. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with that. But let's be honest here. The EU LCS mid laners are way better than the NA LCS mid laners right now. So the competition is a little bit different, and I expect Bjergsen to put up very similar numbers. So now that I talked about Forbidden a little bit, let's just go to number 2, which is Forbidden. We all saw, just again, MSI was a huge event, and we saw Forbidden probably at his best. He was able to solo kill Faker. But more importantly than anything else, he was the highest scoring mid laner out of all the mid laners. So, it's pretty easy to say you either draft Bjergsen or Forbidden. I think some of it's going to be based on preference, and some of it is going to be whatever you decide. I honestly think Bjergsen's the best one to pick up right now for several reasons. I know I'm supposed to be talking about Forbidden. Forbidden has to deal with a lot of the top mid laners that are available in the LCS, both NA and EU. The number 3 on my list, guess where he's from? He's from Europe. So, the competition level is different. There's also the addition of Reckless, which I mentioned earlier, or which I mentioned in Funi's video, or the top 3 video. So, I think in terms of that, again, Reckless might take away kills from Forbidden, as in, the gameplay might revolve around him, right? Might revolve around Reckless, since he's like the definitive powerhouse of the team. Even though we all know Funi was pretty good, and Forbidden was pretty good, and Reignover was very good, stuff like that. So that's my number 2. Because he's number 2 specifically because, let's recap, the competition level is different, and the roster changes might actually hurt Forbidden's score. I'm not saying it's going to hurt him as a player by any means, but it might hurt his fantasy score, which is what we're talking about here. So, for number 3 on my list here, I went with Fox of SK Gaming. Now, there were a few changes just in terms of the AD carry, which was a lot different than a lot of the AD carries. They went to Candy Panda, and they lost Forgiven, which I'm not positive on how that's going to impact everyone. I think Candy Panda is a solid AD carry, but if he doesn't necessarily perform right away, a lot of the pressure is going to fall on Fox, which I think might hurt him. But I also think it might even propel him to, further. so he's kind of a risky pick in my opinion. I think that he's going to be able to perform maybe just as well, but depending on how Candy Panda does might influence how he does. He might have to take upon his team and carry them on his shoulders, basically. Just to throw out a number, since I am kind of a numbers guy. Sorry about the shaking. He scored 398 points. He was pretty close to 400, but quite frankly, he didn't break the 400 mark like Fabivin and Bjergsen. So, you know, that's my top 3 for mid lane. Honestly, I think number 1 and 2 can be interchanged, but I'm really dead set on the fact that the competition level is extremely different, as well as the roster changes and their influence on the players. So again, I'm going to have the link to the rest of the videos down in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed. And feel free to leave comments on what you think I should do in terms of describing this stuff and yada yada. So thanks for watching.